Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane K. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Sister Wives, Season 6, Episode 8, A Wife Decides. The episode opens with scenes of the family together and the kids playing, all smiling, happy faces, as Cody talks about how great it is to be together again. There's no problem with the kids getting together. Everything is kumbaya. Cody feels the issue is for the adults, though. He says it's a challenge for the adults to understand each other's boundaries, to understand the nuances, while also reuniting the family. Cody knows each wife wants to run their own household in their own way. And he also knows each wife is an individual. They all have their own personalities and they all operate independently of the others. So Cody wonders how he's going to achieve unity among all of the adults, among all of this diversity, among all the different personalities, how we're going to get togetherness. So the adults don't know how to gel yet. They're not used to being so together. So Cody feels it's a challenge, but he also says the challenge is the opportunity. That's so interesting coming from Kotex. He's the one who is allergic to being inconvenienced. He's the one who is allergic to making an effort. We know if something isn't easy for him, if it's not convenient, he ignores it, he refuses to do it, he refuses to participate, even going so far as to refuse to attend his daughter's major surgery, all because at the end of the day, it was too inconvenient for him. But Cody can say great things like the challenge is the opportunity. He can say some really nice empty words. So Cody of the past feels the challenge is the opportunity. And he is really hoping that all of the adults can just get along just like the kids do. Of course, as long as it's convenient for him. As long as he doesn't have to lift a finger. Leo loves the new home. They're always busy. They're loving being in the homes. They're loving being with the family. They concede waiting that extra week to be in their home, that really wasn't that big a deal. They can look back and say that was nothing. Aurora thinks they really need more kids in the family, and Isabel reveals that her mom, Christine, is done having kids. So is Janelle. She doesn't yet know about Robin or Mary, but a lot of the little kids want to have more kids in the family. They want more babies. Robin is busy right now. She is putting together a fire pit so the family can get together to burn Cody's travel bag. This bag that he used, this duffel bag that he packed to move from house to house among the separate homes. The bag represented the family separation, and now the family is living together. They're living in the cul-de-sac, so Cody is burning that bag to the ground to prove that they're all united as a family now. How symbolic. Janelle doesn't really give a fuck about the bag, and Cody points out Janelle actually liked the bag out of all his wives, because to Janelle, Cody feels the bag resembled her independence. Cody jokes that to Janelle, the bag meant eventually he was going to leave. He'd get out of her hair, he'd go, and Janelle would know she would have her place back to herself again just the way she likes it. So Janelle liked the bag. So Cody's joking about this and Janelle is all smiles. She probably feels relief the second Cody isn't in her space anymore. Cody goes on that this bag is a symbol of his detachment from the family. And he knows his wives want to burn this bag. So reluctantly, he's going to go along with this and he's going to be okay with it. Attachment, Cody says that the bag represents is attached to Cody, not the bag. Cody is detached as a father and a husband. And, they could all live in one home. They could burn every bag this man owns. Cody will still be detached because by this point, Cody's heart and Cody's mind and Cody's ego were all wrapped up in one place. And you could take Cody out of Casa Goblina, but you can't take the goblin out of Cody's heart by this point. Cody was already phoning it in at the start of Vegas. He was already detached. And he may have done his rotation. He may have made his rounds. But the heart wants what the heart wants. And it had nothing to do with the homes being separate in Vegas. It had to do with Cody. Burn the bag though. It fills up airspace. It tells a nice story. An ambulance disturbs the burning of the bag as Kotex requests a moment of silence with his family gathered there to witness this symbolic burning. And Savannah gives the insight that she thought the bag was ugly and she was happy to see it burn because it gave her dad pain. Cody wants to celebrate his victories. He doesn't want to move from house to house anymore with that duffel bag, so he is just celebrating being in these homes. He says you have to celebrate your victories. Next, Cody meets with the jewelry manufacturers for My Sister Wives Closet. He has a surprise for his wives. He is going to be designing custom jewelry for each of his wives for Mother's Day. It's a huge surprise. So Cody wants each wife to have an individual piece of jewelry that represents her. So Cody sees Robin as a bird, and she refers to herself as a bird after her divorce. And Robin says of herself that she has risen out of the ashes like a phoenix after that divorce. So Cody wants these pieces to really be marketable. He wants them to represent his wives, and he's hoping they're marketable for My Sister Wives Closet as well. So Cody says with Mary, what he wants to represent is her loyalty. She's loyal, and loyalty is her gift. So Cody wants something to really symbolize that loyalty and how loyal Mary is for her. So Cody thinks of a dog at first to represent loyalty, but the jewelry designers explain that maybe a dog isn't a great idea. So Cody finds another idea. He thinks loyalty would be represented well by a crown and a heart with Fidelis inscribed in it. Cody says Janelle is earth, so he wants Janelle's pendant to be a tree representing earth, security, solidity. With Christine, Cody is playing off of the element of air. He wants to represent the winds of love, air. He says Christine is ethereal, she's light, she's like a fairy, she can also be mischievous, and Cody wants to encapsulate that in Christine's piece. The jeweler says she can tell that Cody loves all of his wives with all of his heart. She says Cody respects them all, but he has a different relationship with each wife, and each wife offers something different. She points out that in a monogamous relationship, women are looking for everything in one person, the perfect one. But with Cody has that with 4 women, and each of the women has something different for him. Now, Cody worries because he knows he has to give equal time and energy to each design. He worries that one wife could possibly be jealous of another wife's piece. He shouldn't flatter himself too much. Next, Cody and his wives are headed to a casino gift shop where they're going to be selling My Sister Wives Closet jewelry. So the Browns are headed to check out this gift shop where they're going to be selling wholesale pieces, and they're going to be at a cheaper price point. Mary knows the customers have requested that. They have asked for cheaper price points. So we also learn that Christine is now much more involved in My Sister Wives Closet. She really wanted to do real estate, but she didn't have the time for it. And with My Sister Wives Closet, she can work from home, which is what she needs to raise Truly. And Christine is really liking this new line with the cheaper price point. So she's really much more invested at this point. Janelle isn't, though. Janelle is still focused on real estate. She likes the new wholesale line, but she doesn't really care if she has fun at work or not. She is all about the numbers. She likes real estate. Real estate brings in the numbers. So Janelle is still developing her own path. She doesn't have much time or effort or energy to put towards My Sister Wives Closet. Cody is nervous about putting their brand in casinos. And so the jewelry manufacturers are meeting the Browns at the gift shop to help work things out. Christine worries that it might be hypocritical. There are some mermaids at this casino, and they are all excited about the mermaids who are scantily clad. But they worry, for example, about a scantily clad cocktail waitress. The Browns see a pool environment and the mermaids as different than showing up in a bikini to serve drinks, though. So they have a problem if you're a cocktail waitress, but they have no problem if you're a mermaid. Robin wasn't sure morally if her stuff should be sold in a casino, because in their faith, gambling is a sin, going to the casino is a sin. Their families don't gamble. If they're going to do something, it's going to be family oriented. They're going to watch kid-friendly movies and things like that. So Christine was worried too. She checked out the casino to make sure it wasn't a den of sin, and she found lots of different family activities and attractions there. They check out the gift shop, and the store name is Guilt. And that made Robin hesitate. Ooh, guilt, sin, ooh, bad, bad. So the Browns checked out the gift shop, and it was all appropriate stuff. It was all cute stuff, and they were surprised at that. So the manufacturers are there, and they're helping the Browns with this. And they point out that most of the casinos just automatically close their doors to the Browns My Sister Wives Closet line products because the Browns are polygamists and they don't want to offend their customers. So this lady knows the opportunities for the Browns are few and far between, and she really thanks this casino manager for giving the Browns the opportunity to put their product in the store. The manufacturers point out that even though it's Vegas, the casinos are very careful. They don't want to offend their customers. So usually what happens is middle management will be very open to the jewelry, but then they'll consult with corporate, and corporate will immediately shut it down. Gina complains of the hypocrisy. She says you can drive down any street in Vegas and your kids are going to be exposed to every body part there is. Yet the casinos in Vegas are hesitant to sell the Browns jewelry. They're hesitant to accept the Browns. They don't want to offend their customers. So Gina, the manufacturer, feels that My Sister Wives Closet has so much potential. But she says if the Browns piddle away their money by being too conservative, the whole thing will fail. Basically, beggars can't be choosers. The internet has failed. Selling at expos has failed. So this has to work if they want My Sister Wives Closet to survive. The manager is very happy to have the Browns there. She has Cody try on an apron that looks like a dress. And Cody points out that anytime a woman can downplay his masculinity, he thinks that they love doing that. You know what I think? I think maybe Cody feels insecure about his masculinity, so he perceives it that way because of his insecurities. Robin knows that the expos haven't worked out so far. Selling online has been a flop, but selling this wholesale line of cheaper jewelry in stores, she knows that's a step to branch out. And if it doesn't work, if it doesn't sell, the Browns are going to have to go back to the drawing board, back to square one to find out what they're doing wrong. Basically, they're all out of options, and this has to work. Janelle is still on her weight loss journey, and she has been really frustrated with her weight loss because the numbers aren't moving on the scale. She isn't giving up yet, but she feels really discouraged. And Janelle says for 35 years, since she was 8 years old, she has worried about her weight, she has worked on her diet, and she says it's a really hard habit to break. But it's been months now with no change on the scale, and that devastates Janelle. But she is still scaleless per Sean's request. Her personal trainer had her break her scale. He requested that she doesn't get a new one, and Janelle knows she's making progress. She knows logically her dress size has gone down, her pant size has continued to go down. She's lost 10 inches off her waist, but that number on that scale isn't moving, and it frustrates her. The number stays the same. So Sean tells Janelle all the time that the scale doesn't matter. They broke her scale, and Janelle hasn't bought a new scale yet, but it is frustrating to her. So Janelle wants to see more progress. She wants that number to go down, even though she sees the progress in her body, in her physical stamina, and all of that. She wants that number to go down on the scale. So Janelle is going to work with a nutritionist to go over her food choices. Janelle never wants to go back to her old life. She sees the positive changes, and she is determined to get to her goal no matter how long it takes. So she's going to go back to her 1,500 calorie a day diet, and she is willing to make the change. One thing I admire about Janelle is her work ethic. We still see her on her weight loss journey years later, and she sticks to it, and she sticks to it, and the weight keeps dropping off. Next up, Cody and Mary are discussing babies. And at this point, Cody has left the decision up to Mary. So Cody and Mary are going to have a picnic at Red Rock Canyon, and Mary will be telling Cody where she stands with having babies. But it's not really Mary's choice because Cody makes the decision for her. Cody and Mary have discussed IVF, and Cody feels if Mary decides now at this point that she wants to try, it will put him in an awkward place because he feels differently than when he first suggested that they should try to have a baby. So for Cody, it's a hard no, but he's making Mary feel like she gets to decide. Cody says his gut check isn't affirming that they should do this. So they're supposed to be hiking at Red Rock Canyon, but Mary is in clogs. She didn't know that they weren't just going to sit to eat. She didn't know they were hiking. She wore clogs. She didn't wear sneakers. Mary assumed, of course, they were just going to be sitting down at a picnic table to eat. So Mary wants to please Cody, and she's climbing rocks in her clogs. Cody is happy that Mary is in a good mood for this talk, and Mary thinks that Cody seems to be in a good mood for the talk. She says he seems open, and Mary really wanted him to be open. Mary was planning to tell Cody she wants to pursue IVF, but Cody shuts it down. Mary says she doesn't know at this point how Cody feels about it, so Mary asks Cody clearly how he feels. And Cody lets Mary know he feels nature and God haven't blessed them with more kids, and he feels that they don't really feel it in their gut. They're not burning with a desire to do this. They don't feel like they should do it in their gut. So Cody feels he will always be in the child's life if Mary chooses to pursue this, but Mary's going to be the one to carry the baby. She will be the one who cares for the baby day to day. So he feels most of the responsibility really lies on her shoulders. And Cody adds that his responsibility to the child, it wouldn't be any less, but the responsibility of the choice is more hers. It's more ownership for her as the mother. So Cody says if Mary decides to do this, he'll help, but he has no gut on this, and God and nature hasn't given this to them naturally. And if it were right, Cody feels it would really burn in his gut that this should be a yes, that he should do this. It would burn in his gut that they have to proceed. But he doesn't feel that burning, and he feels it is just not for him. He doesn't want to go any further with this. So Mary asks Cody, yes or no? Do you want to have another baby with me or not? And Cody says he would do it if God gave it to them naturally, but because of the stakes, he really isn't fired up to do this. He doesn't feel passionately in his gut that the answer is yes. So for him, the answer is a hard no. Mary is at a different place. Mary wants to start doing tests to see how it would work. She really wants to see if it's possible. So Cody adds that Mary going and seeing a doctor really doesn't change his mind. So whether or not Mary wants to proceed, he is saying no, so it's a no. Cody feels they have all the info already to make a decision. So when Mary wants to go to a doctor, even though he's thinking it's a no, he really doesn't want to. He wants to sit on the decision of no. He knows how he feels, and he's not going to move from there. So I get they wanted a storyline, and I genuinely believe it tears Mary's heart up that she could not have more kids. But I think Cody pushed Mary on camera. He is the one who pushed Mary. He is the one who suggested IVF to her. He is the one who was enthusiastic about IVF initially. And Mary wasn't so sure. I don't think she wanted to deal with the disappointment of possibly failing at having another child despite going through all of the possible poking and prodding. I think Mary was hesitant, and I think part of her wanted a baby, and I think part of her was very scared of the pain of going through all of this poking and prodding and tests and this and that just to fail. And I think part of her may have been over raising kids already. But I think Cody was enthused, and I think it was always Mary's dream. So I think, of course, she mulled it over, and I think she got to a place where she really wanted to try, because I think she knows at this point she's going to be an empty nester. I think that scares her. And Cody already knows he is at a hard no. He just doesn't want to do this. So at the point when Cody knew he was over it, he should have told Mary and been very straightforward. And I think Mary also should listen when Cody is telling her he isn't down. He said no, he doesn't want to do this. His gut isn't ablaze to do this. And now Mary is saying she wants to get tested. And part of me thinks she isn't listening to the words coming out of Cody's mouth. And part of me also thinks that Mary likes that this gets her attention from Cody. I think if Mary really wanted this, when Cody was initially enthused over it, she would have got over her hesitance faster with the possibility of this failing, and she would have gone to the doctor months ago. Either way, whatever the situation is on both sides, Cody should have told Mary the second he knew it was a hard no, so Mary didn't endlessly vacillate over the what ifs. I think if Cody knew he would never really be down to have another baby with Mary, he should not have pushed her for it, knowing how sensitive this is for her. Cody tells Mary he doesn't want to cop out. He wants them to sit on no for a while before going to more appointments, before even considering pursuing this. So Cody tells Mary it's a no, and Mary is shocked and Mary is sad. She knows it's not like they won't have a happy life. And Mary says she and Cody are at a different place than he is at with his other wives. They're still all raising kids together, and she now has to figure out where she fits with Cody and where she fits with the rest of the family as an empty nester. Mary wants Cody to think on this. Mary wants Cody to think on her pursuing the IVF, and Cody wants Mary to think on it as a no and stew on it as a hard no. He wants her to ponder no to see if there is regret there. And he wants to know if Mary will find herself waking in the night in tears over the answer being no, just yearning for a child. So Cody insists they sit on no. So Cody told Mary he wanted an answer, and her answer from her perspective was she wanted to proceed with this and make appointments. And his answer was no, and that they had to sit on no, and he refused to even entertain Mary's thoughts or hear her point of view. He basically made her decision for her while making it seem like she still had a choice when she didn't really have a choice at all. If I were Mary, I would feel very hurt by this. She definitely looked hurt. She has a right to be hurt, really, with the way Cody handled this. Mary knows now she and Cody need to tell Leo that they decided not to pursue this. And Mary knows Leo really wants a sibling. And Mary says the arguments Cody made for not wanting to proceed, they make sense. Mary understands Cody's argument, but it's made her really sad because now she knows it's done and she doesn't have a choice. So Mary really is hoping now that this will be a good time for she and Cody to recreate their relationship, to reestablish their relationship. Mary says they really need to figure out who they are together as a married couple. And Mary really is hoping that she and Cody are going to focus on improving their relationship. Next, Mary and Robin have a talk after the baby conversation with Cody. So Mary lets Robin know she's not going to be needing her surrogacy services. And Mary says she and Robin are close. And Robin has expressed to her that she really wanted to raise kids with her. So Mary breaks the news that she and Cody talked and they decided not to have more kids. Mary says it was a mutual decision. And Mary tells Robin she planned on telling Cody when she went into this meeting with him that she definitely wanted to start IVF, and Cody is the one who said no. And Robin acts shocked that Cody is the one who prevented that. Cody is the one who said no. Cody is the one who decided. So Robin asks Mary if no is the right answer. And Mary isn't sure about it. Mary says it is what it is. Mary thinks about she and Cody becoming empty nesters, and she wonders if in another world, in a monogamous world, if it was just she and Cody and Leo, if she would be fine with just the two of them on the same level as empty nesters. But Mary points out it's not just she and Cody as empty nesters together with Leo off to college. Cody has Janelle and Christine and Robin and 17 other kids to deal with. And Cody is at the stage of raising kids with all of his other wives. So Mary is the only one becoming an empty nester in the family, and Cody isn't sharing that mutual experience with her, understanding where she's at. Cody has more kids to raise with his other wives. So Mary is really in this alone. She doesn't have a husband to share this empty nester experience with. Robin feels like she dragged something up between Mary and Cody when she offered to be a surrogate. And she feels before she made that offer, maybe Mary and Cody had let go of having more kids. And so she apologizes to Mary. And Mary says one of her hesitations was making sure that she didn't want to have a baby. just to replace Leo's absence. Mary cries. She's very hurt. She is very hurt, and she has every right to be. And Robin adds that Mary wants to do things because they're right. Mary wants to do things because she feels that baby spirit saying that they want to come now through her. And Robin asks Mary if she has prayed to feel that spirit. And Mary prays, but Mary says she doesn't feel anything. Mary says they're all one family, they're all working towards the same goal, and she says they're all equals as wives, and she knows that, but she is on a different level than the other wives because she isn't raising young children, and she doesn't want to have a child just to feel like she is included in the family. She doesn't want to have a baby just to have a place in the family, just to feel like a part of the family. Cody wants to sit on the decision of no to see if it's right, and he says, the great thing about being human is the ability to change one's mind. And he says Mary can change her mind as a woman as many times as she likes. And Cody says if Mary changes her mind, he will like it that way. Really? So if Mary revealed that she was going to tell him that she wanted to try IVF and she still would Cody agree? Would Cody say whatever you want? I like it like that? He basically made the decision for her, and she shut up about her decision to want to proceed with IVF just to be convenient and easy for him. Mary wonders what value she is to the family now that she and Cody are not going to have another baby. Now, in hindsight, looking back at the trajectory of the family and the marriages and the relationships, I'm sure Mary is thrilled she didn't have a baby. But Mary not having this baby made her really question her identity and her place in this family. You know, the other wives in Cody, they all have kids to still raise. They have family activities centered around raising those kids. Mary is alone by this point. Cody had virtually abandoned her as a husband. Leo was almost off to college. And although Mary lived in the cul-de-sac, she was alone. She was probably more lonely than ever, living there, right there, with the rest of the wives and kids. She was isolated, really. She wasn't raising little kids in the same stage of her life as the other wives in the family. And she probably felt alone, and she probably felt like an outsider. And on top of that, she wasn't getting that extra communication, that extra attention, that extra love and emotional understanding and empathy from Cody. Cody wasn't validating Mary and her emotions as an empty nester. He wasn't particularly reassuring of her as his wife. He wasn't validating her place in the family and making a point to make her feel like an integral piece of this larger family. I think if Cody as a husband took the time to focus on Mary as his wife, if he took the time to get to know her, if he took the time to communicate with her, if he focused on their marriage, if he focused on their relationship, if he focused on communicating with her, if he focused on intimacy, if he made Mary feel seen, heard, and understood, if Mary didn't feel so alone, she wouldn't be questioning her value to the family just because she didn't have another baby. I think this is really where Cody as a husband needed to step up, and instead, Cody was nowhere to be found. That does it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next episode of my Sister Wives Rewatch, Sister Wives Season 6, Episode 10, Polygamous Marriage Therapy. That should be a good one. I covered Sister Wives Season 6, Episode 9 a while ago. You will find that in my Season 6 playlist if you're interested. Thanks for listening. I'll see you soon. Bye.